So today we'll start our new session PLC. PLC, Programmable Logic Controller. The full form of PLC is Programmable Logic Controller. So this is my PLC. PLC is very important in industry. So first we'll see one video regarding application of PLC and then we'll go further. So this is the automation using PLC. In all maximum manufacturing industries, milk product industries, PLC is used. So automation is done using PLC. So every industry requires PLC. We had seen IoT boards, Arduino, Raspberry Pi, Node MCU. It has some limitations for output contacts. First, they doesn't have relay contacts. You have to add extra relay. One relay has only either one normally open to close contact or maximum two or maximum three contacts. But in industries we have to use more contacts. So PLC is the solution where you will get n number of virtual contacts. And its language is very simple. Its language is ladder diagram language. So this is the application of PLC. PLC is used for automation. So in industry PLC is required. So after your graduation or your college, you have to do PLC courses, and the courses of PLC are very costly. Minimum cost of PLC courses is 30,000. So in today's session, I am giving you idea about what is PLC, the PLC architecture, PLC characteristics, PLC instructions, and PLC language. So it is very vast subject. So I am covering this in today's session. So it will give you introduction, what is PLC and how it works. So automation cannot stop. So this is the use of PLC. So we will see the PLC. Okay, so we'll start our session. First we'll see the evaluation of PLC. Before PLC, mechanical systems are used. So mechanical systems are less reliable, they are high maintenance cost, it is time consuming operation, and more number of labors are required. So overall the system will become expensive. But if you use PLC based system, less wiring is done. The wiring is done between relay and contacts through PLC. It is easier and faster to make changes. Troubleshooting is easy, and reliable component make this system to operate years and years before failure. So PLC development system, in 1968 first PLC programmable concept is developed. After that in 1969 hardware CPU controller is developed, which has 1 kilobyte memory and 128 input outputs. After that in 1974 several multiprocessor are added and new PLC is developed, which has 12K memory and 1024 input outputs. Again in 1976 remote input operations are done. So you can operate the PLC based system from remote location. In 1977 microprocessor based PLC is introduced, and in 1980 it is the highly development in PLC. It has intelligent input output module, which has enhanced communication facility, which has enhanced software, and you can use your personal computer for programming the PLC. In 1983 low cost small PLCs are used. At the beginning the cost of PLC is more than 1 lakh rupees, but nowadays you are getting PLC within 5,000 rupees. So it is possible due to low cost small PLCs. In 1985 networking of all PLCs, computer, machine using SCADA software is done. So this is the evaluation of PLC. Role of PLC in automation, it is very important role. It is the tool that provides control for automatic process. So no need to present human, the system will automatically done. And in many application PLC works as a central system, so all data is collected towards PLC. And these are the advantages: easy of programming and reprogramming. Troubleshooting and diagnostic is easy because it has indicators. So just by observe the indicator you will find out the errors. It has inbuilt software, timer, counter, relay, etc. And the most important thing, quick change over from one product to another product. So in PLC, by changing the program, you can change the product. Take one example. In sugar industries, the main production is to manufacture sugar. But in COVID-19, they are allowed to manufacture sanitizer. So in PLC, just change the program, your system will convert sugar manufacturing into sanitizer manufacturing. So programming is easy and quickly change from one product to another product. This PLC provides quick status of inputs, outputs, timer, counter, etc. This is the architecture of PLC. This is the architecture of PLC. In this architecture, this is your input section, this is your output section, this is CPU, this is power supply. Now if you observe, there is white line here. There is white line at input section, there is white line at output section, and there is white line at AC. So this is isolation barrier. This is very important to protect your PLC from outside the world. The operating voltage of PLC is 24 volt. The operating voltage of PLC is 24 volt. So if you give 230 volt, it is not suitable for PLC, so it is converted to 24 volt. So this is the barrier which will protect PLC from 230 volt. Input modules. You can connect any input, normally open to normally closed contact, and we don't know the output voltage, input voltage of for these sensors. So this is the barrier to protect PLC from input. Similarly, outputs are solenoid valve, indicators which will operate at high voltages. So again, PLC operates at low voltage and output voltage operates at high voltage. So this is isolation barrier to protect PLC from outside world. So this is the architecture. So now we'll see the architecture of PLC. In this first, basic PLC structure is used. So basic PLC structure has input output module, then central processing unit, then power supply, programming device. So these are four components in PLC. So first is input output module. So it provides the signal conversion and isolation between internal PLC and outside the world, field of PLC. These are some input devices. You can connect proximity sensor, level sensor, encoder, switches as a input to the PLC. These are the outputs you can connect: solenoid valve, fan, indicator, display, contactor to the PLC. Input output module. So there are different modules, like first is DC input module. In that, first current limiting resistor is there, which is used to drop the voltage. Then opto isolator, which is the barrier which protect PLC from high voltages. And then internal structure of PLC, that is buffer, filter, like this. So this is DC input module. PLC operates on 24 volt DC, so you cannot give AC. So if you have AC input, then you have to rectify it. So first part is rectifier, then resistor network, remaining part is same, opto isolator, buffer, and then PLC. This is the structure of PLC. This is known as opto isolator, or you can say opto coupler. So there is one light emitting diode and photo transistor here. So light will fall on this photo transistor and then photo transistor turns on. So these two devices are connected by light. They are not connected directly by wire. So they are connected by light. So if there is extra voltage, then there is extra light. So there is no effect on this output side because they are connected by light. Now, so this is your input output module for AC. Wiring. In PLC, this is the wiring for input. This is DC syncing and DC sourcing. Syncing means if PLC takes current from outside power supply, then it is known as syncing. And if PLC delivers the current, then it is known as sourcing. So if you are using positive here and negative here, then it is syncing. If you are connecting negative here and positive here, means it is sourcing. So if common pin is positive, sourcing. If common pin is negative, then syncing. Now all switches are connected to one terminal and common is connected to one terminal. So by default you are getting 0 volt, and when this switch becomes open to close, then you are getting 24 volt. So this 24 volt is known as interrogation voltage or operating voltage. So this is the diagram for input. Similarly, this is the diagram. Now we will see output module. So first, signal from PLC is given to TTL circuit. then again opto-isolator which will protect it, and then output module. Now output module, there are three types of output module. First module is relay, second is triac, and third is transistor. So if you see my PLC, in my PLC there is R. R means relay. So relay is used for AC as well as DC output because it is potential free. So you can use AC as well as DC. Triac. Triac, if there is T in place of R, if there is T, then it is triac base and its output is compulsory AC. If there is transistor X, then its output is compulsory DC. So I have PLC which has R. R means relay, potential free. So I can connect AC as well as DC. So this is the output diagram. Common supply is connected to positive and this is negative. So whenever output turns on, then you are getting output voltage. This is a simple diagram. You can connect input switches, push button at input. You can connect lamp or solar contactor and motor at output, and this is my PLC. Contactor is device which is used to operate very high voltages. So this is the simple diagram for PLC. Now CPU. CPU controls, monitors and supervises all operations with the PLC. It carries the program instruction. It solves the user program logic by using real-time input-output scan status and updates the status of output through output module. So first it will scan the input, then it will check the program, then it will operate the outputs. So CPU consists of processor and memory. Processor is used to complete the program and it understands the status of input, it does the numerical operation and it gives signal to the output. Memory, there are two types of memories, data memory and program memory. Data memory is used to initialize or indicate status of input, status of output, timer, counter and interrupt. This is volatile memory. Volatile memory means if you switch off the PLC, it will become erased. Memory will be erased. And second is ROM. It is non-volatile memory, so your program is stored into ROM memory. Then power supply. It will operate on AC and DC, but the internal voltage is DC 24 volt. So power supply is DC 24 volt. Programming device. So to do the programming for PLC, you can use either programming console or computer. So this is my programming console. This is my PLC and programming console is directly connected here. This programming console is known as handheld terminal. So HHT, handheld terminal, is used to program the PLC. And this is the computer. You can connect PLC to computer and you can do the programming. Classification of PLC. So classification is done according to number of inputs and outputs in PLC. So it is fixed PLC and modular PLC. So fixed PLC, it has CPU, RAM, ROM, CPU, memory, input, output, everything in single PLC. And in modular PLC, all parts are different. So power supply is different, input module is different, output module is different, CPU is different. So fixed PLC, there are two types of fixed PLC. Pico PLC, which has maximum 12 input. Micro PLC, which has maximum 32 input. Then modular PLC. In modular PLC, there are four types: small PLC, medium PLC, large PLC and very large PLC. They are classified according to their input. So small PLC has 32 to 128 input outputs. Medium PLC has up to 1024 input output. Large PLC has 4096 input output and very large PLC has more than 4096 input output. So this is the classification of PLC, fixed PLC and modular PLC. So these are compact PLC, or you can say fixed PLC, which has power supply, input module, output module and CPU. And these are modular PLC, which has separate power supply, separate input, separate output, separate programming. Now we'll see characteristics of PLC. So first characteristic is CPU, second is power supply, third memory, fourth input output module, fifth speed of execution, sixth communication, seventh redundancy, eighth application specific module, 9 rack and 9th is rank. So we'll see first CPU. So CPU plays very important role. It will scan the input, check the program, and according to program it will give output to the output module. So processor operates in two mode. First mode is program mode and run mode. So program mode is used to load the program into PLC, and run mode is used after loading the program to execute the operation. So run mode is used to execute the operation. In run mode, it follows 4 steps. The sequence is like this. First is input scan, second is program scan, third is output scan, and fourth is housekeeping. Repeat: input scan, program scan, output scan, housekeeping. So this will repeat in loop. So first is input scan, which scans the input. Second is program scan, which scans the program. Third is output scan, which energize or de-energize the outputs. And fourth is housekeeping. Housekeeping means it will update the status of timer, counter, input, output, etc. And the time required for this is in loop, and the time required for this is known as speed of execution. So this is run mode. The sequence is input scan, program scan, output scan, and housekeeping. After that, power supply. So internally it operates on low DC power supply, 24 volt DC, and internally external you can use AC or DC. Memory. There are two types of memory, RAM and ROM. So we will divide this into files. First is program files, which is ROM, and second is data files, which is RAM. So all program files is stored into ROM, and all data files are stored into RAM. So first, program files. There are 256 program files. In that, first 2 files are used for system configuration. Then third file is used for main ladder program, and fourth file onwards it contains subroutine of ladder program. Then data files. It stores data which is required to solve the user program. So there are 0 to 8 means 9 default files. You cannot change that 9 files. So that 9 files are O0. O0 means output file. I1 input file, status file, beat file, timer file, counter file, register file, integer file, float file. So all output status is stored into output file. All input status is stored into input file. All status is stored into status file. All timer status is stored into timer file. Counter status is stored into counter file. So these are the files which are fixed. Then input output module. So input modules and output modules are either 8, 16, 24, 32. They are connected between input field and PLC. So there are two types of input module: analog input module and digital input module. So analog input module uses analog signal, and digital input modules uses digital signal. The cost of PLC, analog PLC, is more than 50,000 rupees, and cost of digital PLC is less than 10,000 rupees. Then output module. Same output module serves link between PLC and output field. Typically it is also 8 output, 16 output, 24 output, or 32 output. It is in the range of 8. There are again two types of output. First is analog output module. Second is digital output module. So analog output module operates analog devices, and digital output modules operates digital devices. Speed of execution. So when PLC runs, then CPU starts scanning its program, and the completion of one sequence in program is known as scan cycle or speed of execution. It depends on length of program. If your program is big, so it will take time to scan the program, so scan rate of processor will become slow. So if your program length is small, speed of execution is more. Then communication. Communication is used to program the PLC. So serial communication. In that, PLC communicate with serially, and you can use common standards like RS-232, which is available in computer and which is used up to maximum 30 meter. Then you can use LAN. So in LAN there is no limitation for distance, but your system should be in LAN, local area network. And then RS-485. So this is used in industry, and it is up to 1000 meters. So single computer connected with RS-485, you can control up to 1000 meters. So no need of LAN. So this is communication used to program the PLC. Redundancy. This is very, very important. Redundancy. Redundancy means parallel system. If you see, there are two PLCs. These PLCs are, all system is connected to both PLCs, and this is my main computer which is connected to both PLC. At a time, only one PLC will operate. Suppose this is in operating condition, so this is in standby. So when So when you are giving input, when you are giving operating one PLC, at that time second PLC is in standby mode. If this PLC fails, then automatically we will switch on the second PLC, so that system will not stop. Then we will remove this PLC, we will repair it and again connect to PLC. So to stop system stop, we are using redundancy. So due to redundancy, system will not stop, it will run continuously, so production will not stop. So redundancy is everywhere. So next is application specific module. So in application specific module, we are using special modules like first RTD input module, it is specially designed for RTD. Then stepper motor, it is specially designed for stepper motor. Then ASCII input output module, communication module, millivolt module. So these are specially designed modules, so they are known as application specific module. Then ninth is rack. Rack is used to mount the various modules. So this is the characteristics of PLC. Now if you are selecting your PLC, then we have to select number of logical inputs and outputs. According to that, you can select your PLC, where you are using micro PLC, mini PLC, pico PLC, etc. Then memory. So it depends on your program length. So according to your program length, you can select your memory. Number of special input output modules. According to special input output modules, you can select the PLC. Scan time. So scan time required. Communication. Sometimes PLC are available, but communication is not possible. For example, we are using RS-232. So RS-232 communication is not available in laptop, so you cannot do programming using laptop. So communication is also important. Software should be open source and it is freely available. So these are the criteria for PLC selection. The next, PLC status indicators. So on PLC there are indicators. If you see this PLC, on this PLC there are indicators, light indicators. So that indicators are power on, run mode, program mode and fault. So just by observing this indicator, you can say where is the problem. Now PLC programming. So PLC, programmable logic controller. So what is the meaning of logic? So to understand the meaning of logic, we will see the one case study. Suppose we will take one simple task. So simple task is combinational type of logic decision. For example, we want to design electronic circuit which make an instant decision based on some information. Instant decision means no time delay. So take one example. X is it a sunny day? We are taking one example. Suppose X is one variable. So that variable is it sunny day? Second variable, yes. Second answer is yes. Then Y variable, is it Sunday or holiday? Suppose my answer is yes. So it's sunny day and it is Sunday and holiday. So it's time for shopping. So output Z is go for shopping. So for shopping, your compulsory conditions are it should be sunny day and there should be Sunday or holiday. If it is not Sunday, you will not go to shopping. If it is not Sunday, you are not going to shopping. So the rule is Z equal to X and Y. So the circuit is simple AND gate logic. The circuit is simple AND gate logic. Now there are different logic gates. So this is AND logic, this is OR logic, this is NOT logic, this is NAND logic, this is NOR logic, this is XOR logic. So all logics you can implement in PLC. Now programming language. So each manufacturer of PLC has its own style of writing instructions. Different PLCs has different languages, naming, coding. All manufacturers give different software. So I am using Delta PLC, and for Delta PLC there is software WPL. Ladder is most commonly used programming language. Ladder diagram is simple and it is used for programming the PLC. Prior to ladder diagram, they are using relay logic. So relay logic is used prior to ladder diagram. So we'll see some relay diagram. So relay logic is method of implementing combinational logic in electrical control circuit by using several electrical wires. So it looks like this. This is the wiring diagram and physically it looks like this. So this is the relay logic there are n number of wires. So if you see this diagram, you can understand how it is difficult for maintenance, how it is difficult for troubleshooting. So this is very difficult for troubleshooting. This is ladder diagram. In ladder diagram, you have to connect just input and output. No need to do the wiring. So all this wiring is replaced by PLC. You have to just connect input and you have to just connect output. We'll see one example, we'll see one video. So PLC software circuit capability, we are observing one video. So series connection, that is ladder diagram. So this is physical connection. So here switches are connected in series and this is my power supply. So these are two input and this is my output. So I have to press this button, then I have to press this button. When these two buttons are pressed, then this lamp will turn on. If I release this button, lamp turns off. If I release this button, lamp turns off. If I press only one button, lamp is off. If I press only this button, lamp is off. So to turn on this lamp, you have to press both the circuits. So lamp turns on only when both switches are operating. Now I have to convert this AND logic into OR logic. So I have to change the circuit diagram. So remove the wires, connect as per requirement. So this is the OR ladder diagram. If you press any switch, then lamp turns on. So first switch is pressed, lamp turns on. If I press second switch, lamp turns on. If I press both switch, lamp turns on. So this is OR logic. This is my ladder diagram. In ladder diagram, all inputs are at left side. Remember, all inputs sensors are at left side and all outputs are at right side. There are n number of inputs, but there is only one output at output side. So inputs are at left side, output is at right side. There are more than one inputs, but there is only one output at output side. So this is our logic. So if you convert AND into OR, you have to change the wiring. So wiring can be greatly reduced by using PLC. So we will see how wiring is reduced in PLC. So this is my PLC. You have to connect input wire. So this is common wire and this is my input 1, input 2. I have to connect output. So I had connected output to at pin number 3. So this is my common pin and this is my output, lamp wiring. So all remaining wiring is done through PLC. Just connect input at input, connect output at output. So I am drawing the ladder diagram. So this is my input. So I have written input 2/1. So this is my input. This is the naming. Then again second input, I will write input second 2. And this is my output. So output is O. So see, in Rockwell Company PLC, you can write the instructions like this. In Omron PLC, you can write the instruction like this. In Siemens PLC, you can write the instruction like this. In Delta PLC, in this Delta PLC, input is written as X0, X1, X2, X3 like this, and output is written as Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3 like this. So the instruction, the graphical view is same. Only naming are different for different PLCs. So Rockwell will name like this, Omron will name like this, and Siemens will name like this. So these are the naming of PLC instruction. Then OR gate. So first connect this OR gate, connect parallel switch, connect output switch. So simple steps in PLC are connect the buttons, connect the outputs, and download the program. So once you download the program, automatically it will do the programming. So in PLC, all wiring is done internally. No need to do the wiring, so wiring is reduced. So just connect input at input side, just connect output at output side, and run the program. The program will do the wiring. So this is simple ladder diagram. Now we'll see ladder diagram programming. So this is AND logic. All inputs are at left side, output is at right side. This is my power supply line, VCC and ground. This is known as rung. This is known as rung. So analogous to relay ladder, it is the diagram. Next, now we are learning PLC programming instructions. So there are only 4 instructions. So first instruction is normally open and normally close. So this is my open contact and this is my normally close contact. When condition occurs, then this will change its contact. So normally open, normally close contact. Then coil. Coil is the symbol for output. So for output of lamp, for output of solenoid valve, you can use coil as a symbol. And then fourth instruction is box. So box is used for timer and counter. So there are only 4 instructions. Normally open contact, normally close contact. This is my input instruction. In input instruction, I can use these 2 input instructions for any input like switch, sensor, etc. This is for digital. This is my output instruction which uses only coil as a output. And this is my box instruction which is used for timer and counter. Now this is AND operation. So switch 1, switch 2 are is in series. When both switches turns on, then your output will turn on. So this is AND logic. This is OR logic. In OR logic, both switches are connected in parallel. So if any switch turns on, then this output will turn on. So this is OR logic. All inputs are at the left side of rung and all outputs are at right side of the rung. Then NOT operation. So by default it is closed. So output is on. So when it turns on, then output turns off. So this is NOT logic. All inputs are left side, outputs are at right side. So this is my Delta PLC. So this is our today's session. It is due to time problem, it is not possible to perform the practicals on PLC. So thank you for watching this. So this is our today's session, PLC. Thank you very much.